Despite being the world's largest manufacturer of Covid vaccines, India's own vaccine rollout remains slow, with only 1/3 of the adult population having received one dose. But in a remote district in the far eastern state of Arunachal Pradesh, more than 80% of adults have had a jab. Our correspondent Rajini Vaidyanathan travelled to the area to find out how they've managed it.
These are the lengths some health workers are going to deliver vaccines across India. In this far-flung corner of the country, they're making arduous journeys to reach remote villages, accessible only by foot. In the blistering heat, we trekked through the jungle with Lakgam Singpu and his team. Covid cases have been rising here in the state of Arunachal Pradesh, so they're picking up the pace of their vaccine drive.
We go by foot, boats or by hanging bridges. There are some very dangerous places here. Our main responsibility is to maintain the temperature of the cool box to preserve the vaccines. That's why we try to reach the villages as soon as we can.
Lakgam's team are pushing themselves to the limit. But here in Changlang and across India, there have been challenges. The government's been criticised for being too slow to get jabs out. In this district, they've offered cash prizes to health centres which deliver the most doses. After 3 gruelling hours, we finally make it to the tribal village of Kamlang. Outside the school, they're already waiting for their jabs. It's quite a turnaround after villagers were scared to get a vaccine. Bossam Hacheng was one of the many who needed persuading. There were rumours that you'd fall sick or die after taking one, he told me. Most villagers didn't want to come for the vaccine, but health workers convinced us, so we agreed. It took months of work to overcome vaccine hesitancy among the district's 65,000 adults. India's just come out of a devastating second wave, and the race is now on to get as many people vaccinated as possible. Nationally, around 1/3 of adults have had at least one dose. But here in Changlang, despite the odds, they've done much better. More than 80% of people have had one shot. They might be leading the way here in Changlang, but India's vaccination programme is making slow progress. It still has a long way to go if it wants to reach its target of immunising all 950 million adults by the end of this year. Rajini Vaidyanathan, BBC News, Arunachal Pradesh.